Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming back. This time I think what we'll do is we'll make a black hole because what we want to prove is that any matter that falls into a black hole does not reduce the overall entropy of the universe, as Stephen Hawking once said. I believe it was Professor Leonard Susskind who proved that all the information that goes into a black hole is actually holographically projected on the surface of the black hole. So we'll make one here in my garage to prove that point. Nah, actually, I think I got some parts on order from the master car to do that. So we won't be able to do that today. I guess we'll continue with building the Tesla coil today. All right. Okay, for this short installment, I'm just going to do the markup on the base plate and cut some grooves so that I can mount the stanchions. This used to be a 2 by 2 foot square piece of garolite, all the same stuff as this here. You can see it's all the same material. Previously I cut a hole in it, and then I also rounded it. I tried to make the whole thing round, but I couldn't. It's got some square flats. It looks fine. It was just for appearance's sake anyway. So this interior hole is big enough to allow the secondary to slide in and out with a little bit of room. Not a whole lot of room. It's the center diameter is 8 3/4. What I want to do is mark it off on 60-degree increments, which I actually have already done, but I'll show you how I did it. I'm using one of these camshaft adjusting devices you can get at a auto parts store. It's basically a big protractor, and mounted it in there. It's 7 inches in diameter, so if I take 7 inches in diameter and 8 3/4, that means I've got to have a 7 1/8 space around the side so that I get everything even. So I took this 7/8 drill bit and I just ran it around the outside here and adjusted this until the spacing was equal on all sides. Then I took this thing, this bad boy, which is used to set up rafters on your house, and let's see if I can get in. Just to give you an idea how this worked, I put this on like so. Got this on the round edges there. So if we get that in the camera frame. Right, so got this on there, and then I lined it up. This is all out of whack now, but I previously did this. I lined this up at 60-degree increments, and then I marked it with a Sharpie. So I did that before. There's no sense in videoing something as beautifully tedious as that. And as you can see, I now have marks. Let's see if you can actually see that in here with all the reflection. I now have Sharpie marks, and it's 60-degree increments. Here's one here, and it goes all the way across. I guess you'll just trust me on that. And then what I'm going to do then is place these on all the marks. And that'll enable me to lay in for the coil itself. There you go. Alright, now the next step, now that I have these, now that I've got the layout marks on there, is I've got to groove that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a groove with the good old mill here, and I'm just going to make quarter inch grooves that'll allow me to put these in and slide these back and forth slightly, because as you see, I'm going to have to slide each one out in increment of 3/4 so that I can get the spiral to work. Alright, simple as that. Alright, so I've been cutting these grooves in here. I'll show you how I did it. I got 2 blocks underneath here, 2 pieces of aluminum underneath there to provide a spacer. I'll zoom out and show you the setup. So I've got 2 hole downs, one here and one here. And what I'm doing is I'm rotating this away until I line up the marks I've made. Let me get these blocks so I don't gouge up my bed, which I have already done once. We don't need to do that again. And what I'm going to do here is use this one to hold down there. These two hold down there. I've got a 1/4 inch end mill in there, and I'm just going to line it up so that it follows that line precisely that I've drawn on there. Let's get it closer. Get it all the way into the marks that I've made. And then let's see that it traces a straight line all the way out. Not bad so far. Oop. Yeah, that looks pretty okay. Alright, let's tie these things down. Don't need to go too tight. Just tight enough to hold it. And make sure there's room for the blade, and then just double check that we're on this line. I'm following the line that I drew. Alright, that looks good. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down into it, drill down in, and then I'm going to pull back, oh, a good 6 inches or so. Alright. I'm going to vacuum up the powder so I'm not breathing it. Here we go. Alright, let's take a look. Okay, and now I've got my, let's get into the camera picture. So we get it wider out of further. So I've got the 6 grooves, 60 degrees apart, in the base, which I will mount the stanchions. Okay, here's the finished results. I've bolted these things in. As you can see, they can slide, or you can get them to slide in and out, which is going to be important for when we lay in the copper tubing spiral. As you know, each one of these is going to have to be offset slightly from the other. And the first turn, the inner surface of the first turn, we want to be 1.5 inches away from the secondary when we pop it on there. So this is more or less structurally done at this point. We're going to have to get the tubing in. We're going to have to get it hooked up electrically. You may be wondering what these big things are. These are going to hold a strike ring, which I don't know, probably doesn't serve much purpose, but the idea of the strike ring was to prevent the arcs from coming back in and hitting the primary. It's kind of a okay, it'll make it look nice. In any case, I'll polish up this brass. And so the next step, we'll lay in the tubing, and then we'll get into some electronics, which may or may not be interesting given the amount of people who watch this. I'm guessing all 4 of you will be surprised at how easy the electronics is to do. All right, thanks a lot. No anti-gravity this time, no black holes, no quantum field theory. Although I did want to get into a little bit of group theory of the quantum chromodynamics, but don't really have time for that this time. See you later. Thanks for watching.